Hey everybody, welcome back to Desert Sky Mystic. Today we are going to be doing our monthly tarot reading for the month of August 2022, and today we're going to be reading for Aquarius. So this is a general reading, so it will not apply to everybody, but for those of you that it does resonate with, I'd love to hear more from you. Please leave comments, questions, clarification type stuff below, and I will do my best to answer them as soon as possible and as best as possible. So thank you for that. Okay, so let's see here. I have the space cleared. I have the cards cleared. Got a nice little shuffle in. Let's go on and get this overhead cam fired up and see what the month of August has in store for our Aquarius friends. All right. Sorry, I get a little OCD there, just trying to make these look straight for you on the camera so they're not, for some reason, it distracts me when they're all bent out of shape. But okay, let's take a look here at what we have. Okay, yeah. So it looks like for the month of August, Aquarius, one of the things we're going to be dealing with and working through is the shedding some conditioning. And really, the way I like to explain conditioning is really the idea of it being other people's energies, other people's point of views, other people's opinions. And the best way to describe it is if you think about, growing up, I can almost guarantee that the parents or the grandparents or the people that raised you had certain opinions on things, and you heard these from the time you were born all the way through your growing up over and over and over and over again. So as we go into adulthood, if someone were to ask us what our opinion or what our thoughts were or perspective on these same type of issues, we would very likely, almost without thinking, regurgitate these points of views that we have heard all of our life. Heck, we even may think that we actually believe them. And maybe we do, but the point being is that you don't know if you do. You've never actually taken the time to sit back and analyze those perspectives. So really what the way that I describe this kind of metaphysically is that we are running other people's energies here. Now, that's we don't want to run other people's energies. We want to run our energy. And if the perspective ends up ultimately being the same, that's okay. I'm not saying that the point of view or the perspective of the conditioning is wrong. I am saying that it's important for you to make sure that you have looked at these things and you've processed these things, and the energy that you run in is yours and not somebody else's. Now, the thing about that is, I got the cross card here. I'm going to move this right over here. Is that stuff does take time. I think for this reading for the month of August, that these are things for you that you're going to start like picking up on more than anything. You're going to start thinking about these things. You're going to start thinking, okay, is this really my point of view on this? Politics would be another. I'm not definitely not getting into politics, but politics is another area to where a lot of times we adopt the things that we've grown up around, the things that we watch, the things that we hear, and we fall into this trap of not really thinking through to determine how we actually feel about them, what our real point of view is. It's almost like we are in a soundbite type world, and this reading is really speaking to shedding some of that, and beginning that process of shedding that. Again, this is going to take time. This is patience. This isn't going to be something that's just done and over with in August. I think in August, so it's really something that's on your mind and something that you are really starting to analyze. It's tying in with the patience. This is a longer journey. I think the traveling card here, we're on this path or we're trying to figure things out, but it's not going to necessarily be just easy. This thing's like this path is covered with fog and mist, and your visibility is really kind of hampered here. But that's the point, is that we need to really think through these things and find out for ourselves. But that does take time. We do need to clear away the fog. We do need to think these through. We do need to test our own assumptions. So very interesting. I like how that kind of plays out here. Even better, as we move into understanding, what you're going to see is that there's some barriers that you have put up for yourself. And let's just pick on politics for a minute and say that, maybe the barrier is a political barrier, to where, I just get extreme here and say you can't stand a person because they're of, one political viewpoint or another. Well, what you're going to start seeing is those barriers are barriers that you put up, and they're actually kind of restrictive. They keep you from actually enjoying being part of something larger than yourself, enjoying life. It's a restrictive type deal. And those barriers, they are false. They are going to start coming down for you as you start working through this process. And of course, I'm not, I'm not suggesting that you alienate people or whatever else. I think this is more about being more inclusive and seeing people and seeing things more for who they are, and really evaluating your belief structures and systems so that you can really have a better kind of overall understanding of you, where you fit in this life, where you're going, and the things, the reasons why you think about things the way that you do. So this is an adventure. Have fun with it. There's some cool stuff on the other side of this. The things that the conclusions you're gonna come to are positive, they're healthy, and what it's going to do is going to break you out of playing by other people's rules. The morality card here it really speaks to the idea of going through the motions and following a set of rules and guidelines that may not serve you. And I really get the sense that whatever this is, religion is one of many examples here, but it's an easy example, so I use that. But just think about if you're in a particular sect or a certain type of religion, they have very strict beliefs on something, and you're questioning them. You don't really necessarily believe them, but you keep going through the motions, you keep showing up, you keep going, doing the things they want you to do, just because that's what you've always done. They don't necessarily serve you. They're not moving you in a better direction or positive for you, but you keep doing it anyway. And this adventure, shedding this conditioning, this traveling, this, the breaking down of your walls is really going to free you from that. So a very positive thing. It really is. When we become more of who we are meant to be, we run more of our own energy, and we experience more of the experiences we're supposed to in this lifetime. That is always a good thing. Moving forward here, again, this is going to take some time, some patience. This isn't going to be just this quick. I mean, you're going to have to navigate some things. It's going to be a little bit cloudy. And so as we come to this next card, is again reinforcing the idea that you're just going to have to take this moment by moment, day by day, and just really think about things and process them, and I wouldn't even draw any hard lines in the sand on anything, as you go through this. If you come up with a new idea or you break down an old belief system, I wouldn't even draw a line in the sand, like, nope, I'm not doing that anymore because of this. Just take this and just take it all in and really let this stuff, not only think about it and break this stuff down, but then let it set with you, let it develop you, as opposed to stating your opinions for a while, hear it and see it, and then just think about, as you break down these walls, how does that affect you? How are you thinking? What does this look like really for you? And really what that's going to do is going to bring you to the end of one cycle and start another cycle for you. It's going to be a new way of thinking about the world, a new way of looking at things. It's going to improve your relationships. It's going to make you happier. It's going to improve your outlook, because as we are critical, as we think critically about things and see things for what they are and accept those things, but again, I don't even think you should be the warrior that goes out and tries to tell everybody why they're wrong. This is for you. This is your journey. And when, they have to come to these things on their own, like we all do with most things. Very rarely does somebody else come in and tell us that we're wrong and this is the right way of thinking about it. And we're just like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Maybe that happens sometimes, but for most of us, the big picture stuff and the way that we feel and the way that we think and see the world, our lenses that we go through, those are things that have to change naturally through time and through our own self-analysis and through our own willpower. And that is really what's happening here. You're completing that cycle and you're really opening yourself up to, and you're ready to start a new one. You're finishing one puzzle, you're starting a new puzzle with a whole new perspective on life. And this ends up being a very good thing for you. It puts you in a very good spot. It's something to be celebrated. The people around you are going to be one around you more because they're going to appreciate your insight. And just the simple fact of having a different insight and, holding yourself up and thinking those things through and not being judgmental is actually going to inspire other people to start questioning their own beliefs and their own conditions. So I think that is amazing. What's interesting about this, Aquarius, is I think one of the energy readings, if I remember right, was actually a very similar theme in that your path, your example that you're setting is going to help so many other people just by doing what you do. There is no effort here on your part. You don't have to go out and try to help or change people. Just being you changes people because you're what they are seeing this. They're seeing a real example here, and it's a beautiful thing. And this reading caps off very nicely. This whole thing has been about an evolution of self, and really that's what the new vision card is. I mean, you can you can see that line. Look at the video here. You can see this, there's an outline of a man here on his hands and knees. And then, it's a very kind of on earth, and then it kind of goes to grass, and then the energies kind of swoop up into more of the heavens. Then, you have your transformation, the dime is a square, is the triangle into the circle, and then the colors, this is a spiritual advancement. This is an evolution of who you are on your path, your life purpose in this life. And this all really starts in the month of August for you. So, man, exciting, very exciting time for you. Again, this isn't going to be an easy thing, but nothing worth accomplishing ever really is easy. So listen, if you have any questions on this, any clarifications that you need, any comments on this, please let me know below. I'd love to hear how this is lining up for you, how this resonates for you, kind of how this plays out for you. And of course, if you wouldn't mind, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. It helps us out a lot. We really appreciate it. So that's really what I have for this reading. I mean, amazing reading for you for the month of August, Aquarius. I hope it helps. And that's it. So we will see you next time.